Okay. It's another day. I can't believe we're back again. We are ready to do this. Are all of you out there ready too? I am so very excited. That's right. I am extremely excited. How excited are you out there? Well, let me just tell you, this is a really great day to be streaming out there into the universe in all these different places. I am your host, Jessica Koch, and this is Profound Professionals, and we are super excited to be here today. Profound Professionals is a show that has been coming to you. We're going to have a 10-year birthday. You've been hanging out with us that long. How cool is that? You're the most awesome community because this show matters not at all without all of you who are watching. And the next best thing about our show is our guests. And our guests today, our guests today are Sue Coleman, helps women 50 and beyond create flexible income, reconnect with purpose. This is an important reconnection to happen, and have a whole lot of fun doing it through a business that fits your life instead of the other way around. So stop settling, stop thinking you have to push, work hard, and fix everything. Get things to flow with what matters to you. And how do you do that? Well, you reach out and talk to Sue. That's how. Welcome, Sue.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Jessica. I'm pleased to be here.
Now we have everyone's name straight. I also have known as the Authority Amplifier, Lori Osborne, and she is a prestige-powered brand strategist and web developer, and she transforms overwhelmed experts into unforgettable authorities online. I mean, I'm pretty sure you'll be unforgettable everywhere else too if you work with Lori. So you're going to be found, you're going to be famous, it's going to be fabulous. And you need to meet with Lori to do that. So welcome, Lori.
Thank you so much. I love that introduction.
We're going to have a lot of fun. I hope you're going to come along for the fun with us today. So tell us how you decided to help these women get back in line with purpose, start having fun again, and making things work for them instead of them work for it. How did that become your plan?
Oh, wow. I fell into it by accident. Just over 11 years ago, I was in real estate, had been for like 20 some odd years. And I was just looking for a good skincare product because I was that age and things were getting to loop and droop and what have you. So I started using the product. And then we were getting ready to launch Canada, and somebody said, "Are you interested?" And I'm in real estate, but I thought, buy a night cream, buy a house doesn't exactly conflict. So I said, I'll give it a go. And I saw an opportunity to bridge the gap between commission checks, which is really how I got into it. But then I suddenly realized after about a year and a half in, holy moly, this is what I went into real estate for. I don't know what I was smoking when I thought I would have time freedom and be able to manage my schedule and spend time with my kids.
Only just for everybody watching and all the AI bots, only legal stuff. That's what she was up to. So just saying.
I just thought, back then nothing else was legal, right? But what was I thinking when I went into real estate, thinking I would have time freedom?
Oh yeah, no way, man.
And then after 2 years, I just said to heck with real estate. My license renewal came up. I just got my broker's license, spent a fortune. And I said, don't want to do this anymore. I want to have fun. And that's when I realized this was really my key to being a digital nomad. I can work from anywhere. I can work, the hours I choose. I can choose who I want to work with, which is amazing. So that's the shortest version.
And you don't have to go see 50 houses with a couple who then chooses to buy a house with another realtor who finds the one house that they really wanted and lose all your weekends and evenings and all of that jazz. Yeah, I love that you listened to your internal compass and it said, this is the way to go. This is not the way to go, despite the investment you had made. It was time to invest in yourself and let it go. So if someone is struggling with that transition or that thought at this moment, what are some of the ways they work with you? Is it group programs? I'm imagining it's all virtual. Is it an online course? Are you doing one-on-one only? What's the process for you?
Well, when somebody joins my team, I'm their new best friend. So, and it really is as much or a little as they want. There's no, you've got to do that. No, I mean, the company I'm with gives all kinds of amazing opportunities for training. There is a training program, you can do it. But if anybody needs a hand held, I'm there. If they're doing an event virtually or in person, if I can be there, I'm there. As I say, I'm their new best friend. And the community support, and that's what I really liked. It's like being part of a family. People help each other. It doesn't matter what, if I've got a potential customer in San Francisco, it doesn't matter that I'm up in Canada. I can contact the brand partner there and say, hey, my friend Susie Q is interested. She wants to come to your party. Is that okay? Yeah, they'll take great care of her. And then introduce them and help them. So that's what I really like. It's just a real family. There's no, sounds corny, but we complete, not compete. So
it's good. I believe in multiple streams of revenue, and I'm in and involved in many things that do tie into, growing your revenue, saving money, building passive things I can leave to my family. So I'm a big believer in that. As a matter of fact, I'm in one. And one of the things I love about it is once you break a certain threshold of the goals in their program, you make money on the entire corporation, the whole company business. So that if I am working with someone who's on somebody else's team or isn't under me or isn't whatever, I still genuinely want to see them succeed and help. And they want that for me. Not that I wouldn't want that anyway, but because in the long run, it really does benefit us all, right? It does nothing but lift us all. And I love that mentality. Now, how would they find you? If they wanted to have the next conversation about what this might look like, because I know you too, Sue, and it may not just be this particular business that you're in now. It might be something else that you can help or guide them with it, to find something that really lights them up. So what would they do to come and chat with you?
Well, the best thing is just to email me at suecoleman2020@gmail.com.
Okay.
SueColeman2020@gmail.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn. I go by my real name, Sue Coleman. On Facebook, you'll find me as Sue Coleman International, because darn it, there's an artist who had the audacity to use my name first. So
at least she's an artist. I got a Jessica Koch out there that's let's say a creative dancer. Let's call it that. And so, Google me and you just might be surprised.
Your hidden talents.
It was an artist.
So email or Facebook.
Sue Coleman International on Facebook, in case you didn't catch that.
Yeah.
And Sue Coleman, her real name, the real Authority, on LinkedIn. And Sue Coleman 2020@gmail.com. If you want to drop her a line, get on her calendar and just have a chit chat about really what is my next direction as a woman in my fabulous 50s and beyond, and what's my next act, what's my next story. Have a conversation with someone who knows a ton of people, has a lot of connections, and just might be able to help you along. I can't give you a better offer than that. Having a conversation with Sue is totally a delight. Anything else quickly before we go to hear the amazing journey and story of our friend Lori here?
Not really. Just reach out if you're curious about the products or the opportunity. Because the nice thing is you can do the business and use the products. So you can look good, feel good, live better.
And I'm in a lot of networking groups where Sue and I kind of follow along with one another. We pop up in the same communities, and I hear nothing but rave reviews about how amazing this stuff is. And so I'm going to have to get my hands on some of it so that before too much is drooping here and I have to hold it up in the next podcast. So
I'm pretty good for 71. So
that's right. You're looking outstanding. I'm 52 and fabulous. And
way to go.
So we're still scotch taping it all together. Lori, I would love to hear a bit about your story and journey because, a woman in the space of web development and brand strategist, first of all, go girl power, because, when all of the programming and back in the day, and oh my gosh, you're going to love this. You remember Atari, right? Well, of course, it was a gift given to my brother, not to my sister and I, right, at Christmas, because all the boys had to have it. But he had this game with a white dragon in it. And I was just having a conversation with a girlfriend about it. And I was like, I don't know what the name it was, but at the very end, you get to the white dragon. And that was like, and I beat the game. And it was the only game I got interested in playing. It was after I finished playing with it, sneaking into his room to play that game. And I got all the way up to the final level. I was done. I was finished, moved on. I had gone back outside and I was back with my Barbies and I was good, right? But my girlfriend found the name. I couldn't remember the name of the game and she found the name of it. But all that, crazy software development, I think that you talk about the 1% or less of the world of women. And now, women embrace technology and STEM. We're beginning to be cutting edge and leading in the engineering and software development space. And we're, first adopters and trying and testing out the technology and pushing it to its ends. I gave ChatGPT an assignment that was so complex. I told my husband, I think I broke the internet, honey. It told me it was going to get back to me in 7 days on producing. Like, no, I am not even joking. I feel like I should have taken a screenshot and posted that as a photo. I think I broke him.
That is the first. That is the first I heard that.
My husband says, you wear me out. See, when ChatGPT says I need 7 days, what does that tell you?
Love it. Oh my gosh, I love
it. So you are a world in the web development and brand strategist. How did that happen to be for you?
Well, I have to say I've been in technology over 20 years, probably actually 30 years now. So I completely relate to what you're saying and coming up in it and being an anomaly. But my story started with this business with a brain tumor and a brain tumor diagnosis in August of 2015. Actually, I'm right at 10 years from it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And that is a really weird way to start a business, Lori. I'm just going to tell you.
It is. Well, it is. So basically how it happened, I started a new job and I was falling asleep at my desk and then my eyes started drooping, and I won't go into all the details of trying to overcome the medical community, but I finally got a diagnosis.
Wow.
And found out I had this meningioma that is a benign brain tumor. It sits on my pituitary, which was affecting my hormones and causing also on my optical nerve. But they can't remove it because it's part of my carotid artery. So they went in to try to get it off the optical nerve, nick the carotid, caused a brain bleed, caused my left eye to go mostly blind, and really just affected me in terms of just how I operate. I also found out when I was diagnosed that I'd had a stroke previously. It would have been about a year prior. I know exactly when it happened. Didn't know that's what happened, but I know when it happened. And that really affected my language and trying to find the right words. And I sometimes say the wrong words. So basically I came out of that going, I cannot go back to the corporate world. And I also could not really handle stress very well. So, project management in the IT world is very high stress. It was definitely not going to happen. And I honestly, at that point, didn't know if I could ever work again. So seeing double vision for about 1.5 years, I wore a patch over my left side glasses and did a lot of research into how can I best use my skills. And then I decided to build a website called Health Nut Like Grandma, because I lost my grandma and my mother both at 63 to cancer. And with that, and I lost my mom just about 1 year before this happened, I just wanted to talk about it and share and educate people on meningiomas and what I found as to why I think my mother and grandmother both died from cancer. And in doing that, I went, oh my gosh, why have I not been developing websites my entire life? I had no idea I had this talent. I did not even know I could be creative. And now I can be creative and use my technical skills. And what a great way to help businesses and really thought leaders be more visible and be found and stand out online. And honestly, I'm grateful for the tumor because I found my passion and my purpose. And now I get up every day and go, I can't wait to get to my desk and build something beautiful.
So if a business comes to you, where are they stuck? Are they thinking, my website's boring, or, oh, my website doesn't get any hits for leads for me, but I guess it's just a business card placeholder, so I don't need that, or because I really feel like there are some things as business owners we need, but we don't realize we need. So where is someone where they finally feel the pain, where they have to go and seek a Lori, right? That's what I'm wondering. Where is that coming in their story?
It can start as simple as, I hate my website and I never share it because I'm so embarrassed, which I hear constantly. It could be, I have a website, I don't know how to update it because someone built it on WordPress and I don't know how to do WordPress, or it's down because they didn't tell me I need to do plugin updates, or it's hacked and been taken over because I didn't know how to do plugin updates. Or it could be as simple as, it does nothing for me. Because in reality, websites are out, really. What we need now are authority platforms that are converting and bringing us clients. We need the whole system. And that is where my passion is today, is getting people the entire authority building, what I call the authority platform.
And this includes things like funnels and landing pages and free gifts and, movement and activity and video and audio and, ways for a person to actually engage and play and have an experience on the site. I think play is coming. I just did an interview with someone, Jenny, and that's her whole business, is getting people to incorporate play in their lives again. Whether it's, dancing while you do the dishes or whatever it is, right? And I think that there is a chance for that in our business space. So many of us are building online courses. They need to have that, we're just talking about the video game, that feeling of I've captured the golden coin. Now I got to get to the next one, and celebrating in accountability pods to say, hey, I reached this level. What level are you on? So that we can advance, grow, and improve ourselves and reach our business goals, but have a blast doing it. And I love that you're building spaces for the customer to have that experience from the business person's perspective, so that if I have a business, I can be excited to send someone to go explore and have some fun on my site. And see what it can provide to serve them, and pique their interest in different topics that connect to me, right? And making, even if that means making real estate and skin cream make sense together, right?
Right. Well, and it starts with your why. I mean, that is the purpose, the key right there. For Sue, there's an underlying why that drives both of her businesses. And so it really doesn't even matter what you're doing as long as you know what your why is to drive it.
Absolutely. So when they get to this point, how are you working with them? Is this one-on-one clients? Do you do workshops? Do you do some training to let some people run the reins and steer the bus themselves? Or is it all full service and you do this one-on-one with the client? It's a typical discovery call. What are the different ways you're playing with your customers?
I primarily work one-on-one with the clients, and I focus on a done-for-you strategy with their involvement. And we start very beginning with the brand and really clarifying the brand, understanding who they are, what their values are, and who they serve, and the needs of that person, type of client that they serve. And then I build them a custom GPT to duplicate all of that and provide the content so that it's always on brand. And then we build the website and the rest of the platform. But we always start with brand first.
I love that. You know, we were giving ChatGPT a hard time earlier, but I did just discover, and to my delight, because I've built some custom GPTs before and gone through the process, and I learned, I've taken certifications and trainings, and yada, yada. But the other day I was having a conversation with it, and I was like, could you just build a GPT that does this? And it said, yes. It built the GPT for me. It uploaded to my GPTs. It made it a logo and put the logo on it and did all the things. Now I just use it. I was like, well, that was good. And then when you're in your GPTs, you can tell it a new instruction and say, add this to your main instructions for the GPT. And it'll update itself to remember that, oh yeah, you want me to do this too all the time, because that doesn't happen in the prompts. I was doing this really long prompt. I was having a blast making AI images of myself in all these different scenarios. I was in the rain with the umbrella. I was on a unicorn. I was in a carousel horse. I was jumping off a pier into some water. Like, okay, look, you guys on Facebook, I play with ChatGPT. What do you want? Don't judge me. But I was having a blast, and I kept having to tell it the same things over and over again. I'm like, will you just remember this? And so now I'm having it build itself a GPT based on all of my really detailed instructions. I was doing hysterical things too, because I was pulling, some of this was the purpose of social media content, images that would go through the seasons, right? And so I had this Christmas image that I wanted, but it kept putting pumpkins under the tree.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
It kept putting pumpkins under the tree. I'm like, what's the deal with the pumpkins? What is she with pumpkins? Could you stop putting And I'm typing this. My husband's like over my shoulder. You yell at this thing like you yell at me.
Especially with image creation. That is when I yell at ChatGPT the most often, is when I'm trying to develop
but
images.
I tell you what, it got several of the pictures so right. Like, I absolutely love them. And so I'm so having fun planning. We're planning next year's marketing plan and the rest of this year's. And so playing with this has just been, I mean, it's just fun for me. It's just fun for me, you know? And so I love that you're doing all this. Okay. How can they find you? And then we're going to get some tips from Sue, and we'll come back and get some tips from you. But anything else you want to say about the business part of it, or how they can find you before we move around?
Well, definitely go to my website, bizbolster.com. You can also find me on LinkedIn. I'm very active there. And if you hit Let's Chat on my website, there's a clarity session, a strategy session. Let's talk.
Okay, so I don't spell. So you made a website that I could never find based on spelling, and Google would say, "What are you trying to spell?" I have no idea. So that's how good I am at spelling. I've stumped Google many a times. We got no clue what this word is. Sorry, we don't know where you're going with this. So could you spell it out for us?
Certainly. BizBolster is BizBolster.com.
Yeah, see, I'm sure the rest of you already got that. You're all brilliant that are watching us, but I had to have her spell it for me. So I want to make sure that you find it and get that discovery call and get that chat and see how engaging and fun and how proud you would be to have, 1,000 new visitors every single day finding your website, because it's, first of all, set up to be findable. There's a whole process there, and it's branded that in a way that lights you up and you beam and you feel brilliant every time you share it. Thank you for the work that you're doing. And what I have to say before I move on to Sue Coleman's amazing tip that she's coming up with right now, it's cooking in the pot, that I'm a little jealous you got to be a pirate for a while, because that sounds fun, with your eye patch, and that despite the lack of stroke or any documented brain issues, I often cannot come up with the right words and choose the wrong ones and stick my very small size 5 foot in my mouth on the frequent. And that's, I think, based on Italian DNA, or at least my personal combo of it. So I think that you're doing amazing things, is what I'm trying to say, based on all the challenges that you have faced. You have come out shining and brilliant. And I think I thought the eyeglasses were just a fashion statement. So it's nice when they function to help us to see too.
Well, it is definitely part of my brand for sure.
They're beautiful.
Absolutely.
I've always
Thank
loved
you.
your glasses. So, Sue, how about a tip for us? We're going to get some tips from you fine ladies on things someone could do today that would improve their life. So what do you got for us in the way of a tip?
Well, as you know, I love networking, and I really believe that really is the foundation of any business. You've got to network.
And it's fun.
And it's fun. You got to have fun. But I've got a couple of tips. Number one, don't overload yourself with networking events. Only go to networking events when you can also plan the time to follow up. And put that in your calendar to follow up. And also remember that it's not one and done. Just because you had a Zoom meeting, it's not, oh, they're going to remember you forever. No. My sort of tagline is nurturing connections, inspiring success. You have to nurture. Before COVID, we were kind of forced into follow-up because we'd see the same people at meetings. And you say, hi, how are you? What's new? But since we've gone to this, digital networking a lot more, it really does take effort to make sure that you follow up. And it can be just a hi, how are you? Find different methods of following up. Surprise them, send them a card. But stay in touch. It's not one and done. It's about building that relationship.
I have found lately I'm doing this wonderful thing that twice a week I am taking the time to write a really meaningful post. I'm retracing and sharing all of my most favorite childhood memories and the stories that go with them. And then I'm taking time to go through my contacts, especially the people that are speakers, authors, coaches, online course builders, the people that I'm really looking to collaborate with and build something big with. And I'm checking out what they're posting. I'm making a thoughtful comment on their post. And I'm looking to see if we've actually met or had a one-on-one and how long we've been connected on LinkedIn. And I found people, and I include it in the comments too. We connected in 2014 here on LinkedIn. And the last time we had a chat was 2020. I'd really love to catch up again. And then I make a really thoughtful comment on their post. And then I'm mixing that up with a couple of direct messages too, and reaching out and just pinging them. But I think that your follow-up in unique and different ways is a really, really good tip. So thanks for sharing that. So,
I love that.
Lori, you're up. What do you have in the way of tips for us?
So I want to suggest, I talk about authority building and showing up as the expert. And it's super important. Most people know that, may or may not know, actually, you generally have less than 8 seconds to make an impression anywhere, your website, social media, anywhere. So I encourage everyone to look at your website and look at your social media and see if it immediately answers who you serve, what problem you solve, and why you do what you do. Those are the 3 things that need to be front and center and immediately discoverable. If we try to sell to everyone, we sell to no one.
Yeah, I agree with that. And especially like on LinkedIn and the homepage of your site, think about what is it that the person coming to this site wants, not what you want to feature to them.
Yes.
So like on my LinkedIn banner, we're about to change it again, but right now it's to, be featured as a guest on my podcast, because the people in the community that I'm working with want another place to share their story, to share their talk, to be a guest, to be featured. We're going to change it to, be a speaker and be featured on our podcast and our upcoming summits. Right. And And that's the first open of the door of, yes, I want that. Then they'll look more to see, okay, well, what is this summit about? What is our podcast talking about? How many people does she reach? Then they start asking all of the, what I call the buying questions, or even the questions that lead to true, real relationships and collaborations, right? So I love that. I love
So
that.
the only thing I would add to that is who do you want to speak
Yes.
on your podcasts and your summits?
Mhm.
If you can narrow it down, because I mean, if it's for everybody, great. But if you can narrow it down,
Yeah.
that'll give you even more.
Yeah, it really
on that
is for people.
attraction.
Yeah, it really is for people who can improve someone's personal life or help someone grow their business. And in my mind, for a while, that I thought that was everyone, but it really isn't everyone, because we don't do anything that's I love all people, but we don't do a lot of things that deal with the up on the hill or the political world. I don't really deep dive into trauma and all of that. I know that that's valuable and people need to do that, and there are shows for that, but we're really a lot more lighthearted, fun, and self-improvement, striving to be the best versions of ourselves, striving to reach our goals in business, have fun, live life. That's kind of the energy and the space of our community and place. And so that came a little more crystal clear here recently. So I love that comment, Lori. Okay, now is the time that you out there should be participating. Get typing into the comments wherever you're watching this, even if it's months or years from now. We still want to know what causes are close to your heart. The part of this show has been happening since show number 1. We always ask our guests to share, but we also want you out there, our audience, to share, because our goal here is to inspire someone to give time, treasure, or talent to a new cause they hear about, or just remember that there's a cause that is close to their own heart that they love, and maybe they haven't had a chance to check in with them lately or see what they need or do something with them. Let's inspire and spread some awareness about some great causes. And when someone's kind enough like you to hit the share button, the cause you type in the chat could get shared out with the world too, as well as our guests. So, Sue, what's a cause close to your heart?
The cause close to my heart and my husband's heart is a Covenant House in Toronto. We support it because it serves a sort of lost group. There are, for children get serviced and what have you, adults, but the teens, the homeless teens, the ones that leave home because of abuse or a lot of other things, or getting involved in sex trafficking and this. So Covenant House rescues those kids, gives them a home, gives them health care, gives them education, makes sure that they, that they have what they need to flourish and feel valued, rather than, I mean, it's just abominable what happens to the teens. And I really think that that's a sort of an underserved population when it comes to the having safe places to live. So.
Safe place. Yeah, everybody deserves a safe place. And we have a Project Echo near us that is a homeless shelter and community support for people in transition. And they help them get set up and get the resources they need to find, a stable, safe, and wonderful place to live. And it covers all the gamuts of ages and families and, individuals of all ages too. So maybe there is a place near you. And I'll tell you some of the things I've done with that organization over the years. They're always looking for socks. They always need toiletries of all kinds and paper goods. But they often need, and I've done this very joyfully, I've gotten to go in and help serve and distribute lunches. We did painted sugar cookies once with the children there. This particular organization actually wraps gifts for the people that are there during the holidays. So I've gone on 24-hour overnight wrapping wrap around the clock kind of sessions where we made the packages festive and fun for all the families that we're currently staying. So there's all kinds of interesting, fun things you do. And honestly, I've gone a lot of times, just showed up to help for an hour or two and just played cards or, checkers or Connect Four with someone and had a chat, just treat them like they're a human and give them some company and conversation. Sometimes that's the biggest thing that you can do.
Yeah, Coleman House is great for that because they do support the kids and they ask people in different professions to come in and mentor the kids. They really want to give them this education. I mean, they meet them at the bus at the bus station. The counselors hang out there to try and get the kids before unsavory characters.
Right, sure. Yeah.
Amazing organization. And I believe I don't think they're just strictly in Toronto. I think they're across Canada or maybe the US. Covenant House. Brilliant
So
organization.
you might think there's not much you can do, or what could I do? What could I possibly offer? And there's always that little bit, that small way that you can help out.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be financial all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't. Time, treasure, or talent, and sometimes just some good conversation. And maybe you're out buying yourself a pack of socks, grab a second pair or second pack and drop it off at a shelter near you. So awesome. Lori, what's a cause that is close to your heart?
Oh, I just love everything you just said. You both. We've got amazing local charities here as well. But you won't be surprised probably when I say that Meningioma Research Fund.
I'm not.
From the National Brain Tumor Society. If you've never heard of a meningioma, they are the most common form of brain tumor. And 97% of the time they are benign, but there's very little known about the cause, what we can do to prevent them and to keep them from getting larger. So a lot of research is really needed. And that's what this fund really focuses on, is that research around it, because it's so commonly found, but it's so unclear, and we need that. So
yeah, and I think in so many of the different things that occurred to our very complicated, high performing, amazing bodies and all the things it can do, there's still so much we have to discover and learn. And it's important to support organizations like that so that that knowledge can expand and compound and then continue to be passed on to next generations so that they can do even more and even more and even more with it, so that we're not relearning from ground one all the time. So, I think sometimes people underestimate the value of research and study around the different things that can occur with us. So we can really one day have a better handle on this and do even more impressive things. Like 100 years ago, the things that we can do in medicine today would have seemed truly magical to people if they had seen someone recover from something that just was unheard of then. And it's because we've continued to, as a humans, pass that knowledge on as a torch and as a baton to the next generations, so that they can have it even better, so that 100 years from now we'll look at what they can do and be in complete awe, and it'll look like magic.
Hopefully 100 years from now we won't have the brain tumor problem that we do today. So yes,
for sure. For sure. I love that. This is an important part of the show, and we're so glad you participated out there and threw some of your amazing causes in the comments. I look forward to seeing even more as we spread all of our shows around. And thank you, ladies, for sharing yours. Now, books. I am a little bit of a nut. There's books everywhere in my world, and I love a tree. I will hug a tree and I will plant a tree, but I love me a real book. The smell of the pages, the feel of the pages. Yes, I dog ear them. I underline, I write little notes in the side. If you're lucky enough to get a book I've loved to death, you'll hopefully be inspired by my own insights. I don't know. Maybe. But with that being said, we're going to talk about books that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business. What's a book that you adore and love, Sue?
Well, I'm going to have to say books because
I
there's
know.
two.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Time. No worries.
One is, well, you can see it right behind me, of The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. That, for me, was instrumental when I started with my business. Really understanding that it's the little things you do when nobody's looking that move your business forward in leaps and bounds. And it's just constantly repeating those things that you need to be doing. Even when you don't think it's making a difference, it all piles up. It's kind of that hockey stick approach that you're just keeping on, then suddenly it takes off. So I find that to be a book that I read and reread. I'm rereading it again as I see my restart. It just feels like it just is perfect timing. And then Mel Robbins' book, Let Them, that just came out. That is brilliant. That is just so let them. And when you just really get that you can just let them, God, it takes a weight off your mind. Just your shoulders lighten up. I just find it was a really inspirational read. I love Mel Robbins anyways. I've seen her live. And this book just spoke volumes to me. So
isn't she the one that says, you know, it's like the 5-second rule, get your butt out of bed or something like that?
Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
Yep. Just like, don't even think, just do it. And I try to do that. I'm not as good at that, but I find it really good when there's that task that you just really don't want to do that. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just do it, and just do it. Whether that's getting out of bed, going to the gym, or doing that, making that call you don't want to do, or whatever. It's just,
I'm good with the 5 seconds to make that call or to do that task, but I need 5 more minutes getting out of bed.
Well, let them hit the alarm.
That's right. Let them snooze and let them eat cake. I'm liking that story. Okay. Thank you, Sue, for sharing those books. That's awesome. Lori, do you have some books that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business?